White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London, stand strong. In the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder. To the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise. Eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes. Glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Hi guys and welcome to THFCTILLDIE, home of Tottenham past and present and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. And this is the player rating show, which is a new show which we're going to do after every match. We're going to do it to pre-record. It's going to go out to you members and then go out afterwards to non-members. But this is my player ratings of how I think the team played yesterday. And really, it was a very boring game, to be fair. But I think you've got to look at this game in perspective of we've got injuries. We played Thursday night where Fulham have had 8 days off, basically. I think there's a lot of other sort of things you can put into the melting pot. But look, I understand fans are unhappy. I understand that people are not happy with the result yesterday, but it's better than a loss. A point is better than nothing. And maybe some players didn't perform as they should have done. But we have got an injury crisis. We have got a squad that is quite small, and maybe this is the summer coming to bite us in the ass. So that has something to do with it. But look, I'll get into that more later on the post-match show, which is live at 8. But this is my player ratings from yesterday. And I'm going to give Fraser Forster a 8. I thought he was outstanding again yesterday. Brought out really 2 good saves. And for me, I think he was the best player on the pitch. I know Johnson got the fans man of the match, which I think Fraser Forster deserved it just for the 2 saves alone. He couldn't do anything with the Fulham equaliser. I don't think he could. Look, for me, I've looked at it again, and maybe Rudu could have stood up there a bit more, probably put his head in the way of the ball, maybe got deflected off him, actually, when I looked at it again, and maybe that bit of a deflection took it a bit further away from Fraser Forster. But look, for me, I give him an 8. He was the best player for me on the pitch. Now, the back 4, I'm going to give 5 to Pedro Porro. And I was watching the show earlier, and somebody made a very good point that Brennan Johnson doesn't back up Porro an awful lot the way Kulu does. Kulu sort of does track him back. And Porro looked injured yesterday, so Ange really should have took him off and replaced him with Jed Spence. Apparently, he was ready to come on, but they changed their mind. And are we relying on these players too much? And again, it's the way that does Ange trust Jed Spence to do a job for him? Has he got that little bit of I don't know about him? And we can't keep playing these players into the ground. We need to explore this of trying to get a backup for Porro. If we're not going to use Jed Spence in the January window, definitely in the summer. But now there is that Real Madrid looking to put in an 88 million euro bid for Pedro Porro, that Tottenham would likely accept that. So, do you know where does that leave us on that side of the pitch? We're very light on that side of the bench. We're very light on both fullbacks, to be fair. So I don't think he played well yesterday. I think he lost his man more than once yesterday. Could he be carrying a knock? Could he be a little bit tired? Do you know, December is a challenging month for all players because games are thick and fast. You're playing sort of 2 games a week. So, look, we have to wait and see for the Thursday game against away to Bournemouth if he plays or not. But I don't think he played well yesterday again. Now, the 2 central backs who, for me, have surpassed my expectations on how they would take over from Van de Ven and Romero. And for me, Ben Davies. Ben Davies is a type of player. He's no Van de Ven. He's no Romero. He's not the most gifted player in the world. But if you want somebody that is loyal to the cause, that will give his all, I think he says that in spades yesterday, the last couple of games as well. And maybe over the years, we've seen Ben Davies play with Eric Dyer or Sanchez. He has been part of the squads that have let us down, that have let managers down. But what thing about Ben Davies is he rolls his sleeves up. He gives it his all, good and bad. And you know, for me, he's very good. He's dragging Dragonson on as well through these games as well. And Dragonson's learning off Ben Davies' experience. And I think they're building a really good partnership in that back four. And maybe that's what we need to really come in for games, that this back two know how to play with each other. If you had 2, backups for Porro and Udogie, then I think you've got a back four that know how to play with each other, know how the game is played and how Andrew wants it played. And yesterday, I watched Ben Davies a lot, that he was doing out the passes to Romero. Again, I heard this on another show, when I looked at the highlights, they were spot on because he was doing the passes Romero did. And, I think Ben Davies does he deserve an extra year and a renew of his contract for a year? I'm undecided. Will they give him one? Probably. But this is the best I've seen Ben Davies play in a while. So, maybe if he does leave at the end of the year, leave with his head held high, having his best season at Tottenham, I think. But again, Ben Davies is a reliable. He would give it you all, good and bad. So I've been really happy for him and fair play to him for there. He hasn't moaned. He hasn't buckled since Sanchez took over. He's just got on with being a modern professional and really just training. And when he's asked to do a job, he's doing it. So fair play to him. Dragonson as well. The more games he plays, the more he's getting relaxed, the more he's getting into the groove more likely, and the more his agent can shut his gob. But yeah, I think the 2 centre backs have done fantastically well. Udogie yesterday, again, like Porro, looks tired, looks a little bit out of ideas, tried to do what he normally does and really didn't work for him. That's why I give them both 5s. I just thought they looked tired yesterday. For me, Ben Davies and Dragonson get 7 each. Absolutely, they were 2 really good players yesterday in that back 4. Now we'll go to the midfield 3 guys, and we're giving them all a 6. Bissouma wasn't at his best. Papa Sarr tried, but things didn't come off for him. Maddison again went very quiet, was substituted. Berver come on for him. Archie Gray come on for Papa Sarr as well. But Archie Gray then had to go off in the 95th minute for Lancashire to come on. And look, everyone looked flat. And I think that's why I've given them such low marks, because everyone looked flat. They're all trying to do a job. And I agree with Ange in his press conference when he says these players are working hard. They are working hard. And, they do deserve credit for really trying to pull a shift, trying to do the game right. And it isn't coming off for them. But, Maddison yesterday, 1 free kick, which I thought was fantastic when he went under the wall. I thought it was a great little free kick, hit the post. So, do you know what I mean? If they goes in, we win the game 2-1. And, we win and we all seem a lot happier. So I think it was just one of those games yesterday for the midfield 3, but they tried, but maybe looked a bit tired, a bit flat after the game on Thursday against Roma. For the two wingers, of course, Johnson and Werner. Werner again looked very flat, but did lay on the goal for Johnson. So them two are connecting very well. When Werner puts in the crosses, Johnson's there. And he's there banging them in. He's the club top goal scorer as well. So he's doing very well. But again, it's Johnson's tracking back. He's not helping Porro. And that is one of the areas of his game I think he needs to improve. He needs to improve in that tracking back and helping Porro out. Werner was tracking back yesterday, doing his bit for Udogie, but I've noticed in one time of the game that Fulham are in our sort of half the pitch and there was a throw into Fulham and Werner just stood there like a statue looking around. What am I to do? Had no clue on who to mark, which positions to get into. And sometimes it let Udogie very exposed, a bit like Porro exposed to the Fulham threat in the wings. And this is where I think our wingers have to track back and do their job, have to protect and help out Pedro Porro and Udogie. Look, we play with a high line, so that five men midfield have to do their job in tracking back, helping out the defense, helping out the fullbacks. So if Pedro Porro and Udogie do push forward and try to get forward, they know that Johnson and Werner will be there to back them up. Sonny does it when he plays in the wing. Kulu does it when he plays in the wing. You see them always tracking back. These two don't track back, and I think it's leaving our fullbacks very exposed. For Sonny up front, a very poor game for Sonny. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's very lack of confidence in front of goal. Should have scored after 51 seconds where he just hit it straight at the goalkeeper's legs. Sonny a year ago, that been back of the net. Sonny would have had two yesterday. I don't know if we haven't activated his contract yet. If that's sort of playing on his mind, is there other issues playing on his mind that have making him a little bit lackluster? But Sonny isn't a striker, and this is when I was saying in the watch along yesterday that maybe Ange should have put Lancashire on a little bit sooner than he did, because Sonny isn't Sonny, and for some reason that's why I give him a 5. I think between him, Porro, and Udogie, I think they were our worst players on the pitch yesterday. He went missing. Why I give just quickly in the midfield tree, I give Johnson a 7 just because he scored the goal. That's the only reason I give him a 7. Madison a 6 as well. I give Werner a 6. Bissouma and Papasara 6. So really 6 all round. I think, and the summary rally up of the team and of the starting 11, I think the only players that can hold their head up high for me is Ben Davies, Raju Dragosin, and Fraser Foster. I think they're the only 3 players that can hold their head up. The rest of them look flat. They look tired. They looked out of sorts. They didn't look great. And maybe with Solanke being sent home ill, did that throw all of the game plan out the window? And there was a last minute jig. And did that sort of did something happen between Solanke coming and being sent home and Ange having a jig round and sending the team out there? Did something happen? And it just didn't look right. We looked flat. But look, we are playing 2 games a week. We've got a game on Thursday against Bournemouth away. We've got Chelsea home on Sunday. And then we've got the Europa League game the following week against Rangers. So games are coming thick and fast. And I say it before, and I will say it again. The summer is now biting us on the arse. We didn't make the squad more durable enough. And that's the problem. We're not durable enough to cope with injuries, to cope with suspensions. And yes, players are coming back. Hopefully Romero might be back for Thursday, but it's a doubt. But I think he did be back for Chelsea on Sunday. But we are just struggling at the moment. But if you look at the positives, let's take the positives out the negatives. Ben Davies and Dragosin are playing well. Fraser Foster, with his experience, is doing well in goal. Or only 5 points off second place. So, I don't subscribe to all this doom and gloom. I think if you look around and look at the positives and try to take them out, the negatives, I think we're in a good place, but we could do a hell of a lot better. But look, I'd rather have the injuries now than have them in January, February, March, April time, when it's the business end of the season. when other teams start to have their injury problems around us, maybe with us having our injury problems now, maybe we might get the rub of the green for the business end of the season. So look, that's the way I'm looking at it, guys. But please do hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button if you can as well. It really does help us grow. We're only 26 away from 2K. So if we can get there before Christmas, it will mean a hell of a lot to us all. But please do hit the like button and the subscription button as well. Whatever you do, come on, you Spurs, and Big Andrew Trust. We never stop. We will be back.